Good afternoon, Abbotsford residents. I'm Mr. Pelican. I'm running for your Commander-in-Chief for the mayorship. And the first thing we're going to do is go after the Abbotsford APD on its organized ring of criminal crime in Abbotsford. Unacceptable what took place under the Mayor Henry Braun for his friends, and financial gain, using our city to enrich and aid himself, change zonings, and have city councils collaborating with him. Thanks to Darren Braun, Henry's son, it's on the world stage of all of it. And there you can see clearly as I stand on the world stage, Henry's rich friends that had lawyers and everything have not came after me for a defamation of character or anything. Thanks to the Mission RCMP, she's well documented by all the residents of what took place. The attempted murder on my life, the 911 call that was buried, Abbotsford Police telling me, Keelan Olenoff, you dropped the lawsuit and videos on Henry or I'll personally bury you, Gertie Purdy and the whole thing. The fleeing of Mike Sir and everything. Establishment that set itself up in power. You can see the federal Conservative leader, Pierre Poilievre, calling out the RCMP on Essen Lavador and Trudeau should be in jail. But it is unacceptable what Ed Fast did as an MP to help his best friend Henry Brown. So let's just give you an update on that. Ed Fast threw a party here of his retirement, tied to the establishment rather than calling Henry out and saying, Henry, you blocked the election, you rigged the election, Greg Toes had no business, Greg Toes now says at the Chamber of Commerce we're going to run Ross, and in 4 years, Mr. Pelican, we'll help you. So this mayorship, I'm expecting Greg Toes to endorse me for all the businesses and tell him Mr. Pelican's the man that we need at the helm. He owes that. And the Chamber, I'm going to take that to a new level that you've promised that commitment, and I want that commitment from the Chamber of Commerce. Ed Fast, his retirement party, was not big thrown here by the federal Conservatives. No Stephen Harper came here, no Pierre Poilievre came here, and no Andrew Scheer came here. Ed Fast phoned people and asked them of himself, which is an undespicable act, I want you to come to my party. You got to pay $150 to buy a ticket. Ed set it up. But let me tell you who was involved in setting that up. Sir James Barlow won off the EDA. I heard the other EDA members didn't go because they said this. Suk Mangel was not invited, and he's the sitting MP of the federal Conservative. Suk Mangel wasn't. Brad Vis went to say, I owe Ed, he got me in, he helped me, and everything else. He should have declined. If you're a Conservative and an elected Conservative, you should not be hanging with the establishment. Brad Vis couldn't. Pierre Poilievre needs to pull his MPs in and address them. Suk Mangel shouldn't have been shrugged like that. And the establishment went in the room. Thanks to my friends and my people, I want to tell you who was all at that party of Ed Fast. Liberals were there, but should not have been in the room. Alex Mitchell, the Chamber of Commerce, is a massive federal lib, we know that. She should not have been there. And this is why I speak loudly that Brad Vis needs to be wheeled in and Pierre Poilievre needs to rebuild that Conservative Party if he wants to lead Canada, and I don't think he can do that. And then we had the NDP people, we had Gurpreet Rai there, and we had everybody else. The establishment didn't care if you were a Conservative or a Liberal or anything. It was what they could do behind the scenes, behind everybody, and consider it was politics. I think it's despicable. Then Mike DeYoung was there, and we saw Corky Neufeld there, and we saw all these people. We need to put a stop to that. If you're elected here to govern, you're a Conservative, you should stay with your Conservative friends. It doesn't mean that you got to be mean and dish people, but I want to tell you, I want to speak about an individual that respected his office and held it. And as a Conservative, federally and provincially, I got to tell you, Juddy Sidhu was a fine MP for the federal Liberals over in Mission. And Juddy Sidhu didn't look away and hang with the establishment. He ran his office for his constituents and the people that elected him. Pierre Poilievre needs to address what took place to Suk Mangel. He should have been front and center at that party, and he wasn't. But Brad Vis went there, and Brad Vis was going to host it and speak it all. It was a room of establishment that was set up. When my friends and me were given the opportunity to buy a ticket to go to Ed, I said, listen, I wouldn't go to him if it was his funeral. I'd have the coroner, 4 or 5 coroners, report that he is passed away and deceased. Ed's out of the picture, and he should have. Should have been gone a long time ago. He's trying to hang with the establishment. But what should have took place is Brad Vis should have declined the opportunity with his MPs to host or be there. And he couldn't do that because Ed got him elected. But what took place on Suk Mangill through the election by Alex Mitchell, Mike DeYoung, and everybody else needs to be called out. I'll attack Suk Mangill to be a voice for Abbotsford because I'm running for your mayorship, and where he needs to distance himself and quit taking pictures with the establishment and be a conservative for the federal conservatives and quit running around trying to do PR work. But what took place at Ed Fast luncheon was bad, and it was very bad. And every South Asian needs to call that out of what took place. Like Suk Mangill or not like him, he is a federal MP elected by his Conservative Party, by his leader that endorsed him, Pierre Poilievre, and that you got to respect as a Conservative. And Brad Vis didn't respect that. And I want to make sure that this is loud and clear to all the South Asians. And even who was there was the limper, Ross Siemens. But everybody told me they could not find Henry Brown at the luncheon. At the dinner of Ed Fast. Maybe he was hanging in the back or he didn't show his face. But everybody said, in a couple of days I'm going to post all the pictures of who were there. The Liberals and MP. We need to put a stop to that. And we need Pierre Poilievre to get Brad Vis into Ottawa and say, Mr. Pelican's right. Be a Conservative and quit hanging with them people. And Brad Vis is going to say, yo, listen, Pierre, I owe Ed. Ed trained me. Ed ran me. I owe Ed everything. This is how this happened. I'm live. Abbotsford, British Columbia at Abbotsford City.